Hello, my name is Neil Kelly, and I know you've wondered how to order stuff from Alibaba, especially if you're in Uganda. You're curious because if you ever visit Alibaba before, you know that the prices are inexpensive. They're very cheap. Um, like it's almost like having a Chinatown, a Chinatown right there. Um, at your fingertips. Even prices better than Chinatown here in Uganda. So, how do we get those products that have these great prices here? How do we get quality products with the, and how do we not? How do we protect ourselves from being cheated? Well, this is what this video is about. I have imported a number of things successfully from Alibaba, and I wanted to share that knowledge with you, um, so that you can also, let's say you want to start a business and you don't want to spend so much money, or you have limited resources and you want to get these things at these prices. This is what this video is about. So, what is Alibaba? Alibaba is a global marketplace. It is not a place where they sell things. It is an aggregate where many people come together, many manufacturers, many factories uh, come together, and they sell their products on Alibaba. So when you need to find a supplier, you're going to be dealing directly and many times, and we're going to get into that, but there's some differences. Sometimes you have these third-party people, but you're going to be dealing specifically with a, a factory in China. So let's dive into this. The very first thing that you want to do is you want to go to Alibaba, right? And you want to set up uh, your account with Alibaba. Sometimes it's actually very easy. You can just go in and log in as Google. Sorry, I have dogs. So if you have dogs in the background, my apologize. My apologies. Sorry. So you can log in as Google, or you can just open an account. But make sure you have your current email, because a lot of times that's what you're going to be using to log in. And by all means, have a password that you can remember. Now, when you log in, you want to change the delivery to Uganda. As you can see up here, it shows Uganda. Now, the 11111 is, um, oops, it's you. Well, it's not my real address anyway, but it's 11111, right? UG, right? And then also, you want to either use US dollars, or you can actually switch it to Ugandan shillings. And let me scroll all the way down to the bottom here. I think Uganda shillings is in here. And let me just type in UGX. UGX. Yeah, you have Ugandan shillings. I prefer dollars because um, that's, to me, a little bit more reliable. I don't know what exchange rate that they're using, so I rather use dollars. That way I know exactly what I'm paying. Now, how do we find a reputable supplier? Well, it's all in the search. If you come here and there's a number of ways you could search. You can look up a vinyl cutter machine, right? We're going to use it as an example, right? I brand. I have a little branding company. So I'm looking for vinyl cutters. Now, for some reason, I'm getting mixed results, but let's click on this little thing here and see what we have. Okay, here's some more vinyl cutters, right? This one's $175, right? And there's many options. So how do you do this? Well, you basically you look for the price that best fits your budget, um, and and something that you can afford. But at the same time, you're going to be looking for quality, and you want to look for a supplier that's not going to cheat you. That's not to say that there's cheats all in Alibaba, but people lie and cheat every day, everywhere. Now, I'm going to show you an order that we did recently, a few months ago. Um, we ordered a vinyl cutter. And let me open this guy up here. And where are you, Mr. Vinyl Cutter? Here we are. Now, when you look at these prices, you're like, oh my God, it's $99. No, that's not the price. That's $99 if you're buying it in bulk. The higher price over here, $135, is the actual price, right? So the other thing you need to pay attention to is this, the minimum order quantity or minimum quantity. That means that's the least amount that you can buy from them. So what does that mean? There are some suppliers that require you to buy 500 of whatever they're selling or 20 or whatever they're selling to get that price. So the minimum order quantity is the lowest you can get. In this case, this is the MOQ for this is 1, right? The minimum order quantity. So this is the price that I'm going to be paying, $135. Now, how do we know if they're reputable? How do we know if we're not going to be cheated? Well, few things that you can look for, indications. One, this company has been in business for 18 years. So you look at that, look at how long they've been in business. They're also a verified supplier. So Alibaba, they have a verification process where they can verify uh, their suppliers so that you feel a bit safe. And also you can click on this and it takes you to their store, and they have a bunch of other things that's in here, right? So, you get an idea of what uh, that these guys have been around, and they sell quite a few things, a bunch of things. So, it's just one extra layer of safety by verifying that. Now, once you do that, how do you pay? Okay, the very first thing that you have to do before you even engage these suppliers, you have to get a freight forwarder. Now let's get into a discussion of what a freight forwarder is and what is factory direct shipping and freight forwarding shipping. And we're going to talk about the pros and cons of each. Now, factory direct shipping means that the factory is going to ship the product to you. And I can already tell you the price for that is absolutely ridiculous. It's going to be super expensive because they're not a shipping company. And a lot of times it's maybe even 10 times the price of the item that you're going to sell. So what do we do? The next thing we do is we look for a freight forwarder. Now, what is a freight forwarder? A freight forwarder's job is to take your products that you purchased from China and ship them to your destination country. In my case, Uganda. How do we do that? Well, first, there's a number of ways. Um, you can actually come to where it says products here, and you can say, um, I believe it's shipping to Uganda from China. And you have all of these companies that actually ship, right? Um, to Uganda. But it's best to contact them and to make sure that they do. I see a lot of USA here. Um, let's do the shipping from China to Uganda. All right. Or let's just say shipping to Uganda. Okay. So there's a variety of them. Um, Many have services to Africa. Some only go up to Mombasa. Some can actually have it come all the way to Uganda. Now, the company that I use is Choice Logistics. They go by another name also called overseas freight. Choice, they are a freight forwarding company. What they do, um, they will actually facilitate your stuff and have it taken from their warehouse and shipped to Uganda. But in order to do that, you need to get their address of their warehouse in Uganda. So when you are engaging these people in China, you can tell them, I have a freight forwarder in China because they have an office in Uganda and in China. And what they'll do, they'll say, well, what's the address? And you just basically copy and paste and send them the address. Now let me show you what we did. Okay, first I'm gonna get back to the order that that we did here. I'm gonna actually go to the chat if I can figure out how to get back there. Chat. Well, let me go back here and let's see if I can get into the chat from here. Where are you? Now let me go back and just get to this website. Now this right here, this is to chat if you want to chat with these people. And this has been some months ago, so I want to kind of go over everything from the very beginning and show you what we did and show you what the expectations are. All right, it's scrolling because there's a lot of things that we talked about. So I started off with hello, and um, I told them I basically explained that we are interested in this product, and they said, "Do you have a freight forwarder in China?" I says, "Yes, I have a forwarder in China." And I asked them, "What is the CBMs?" Now, the reason why that's important is because freight forwarders will ship not according to weight, but according to volume, the size. So it's calculated as a cubic centimeter. Now, the freight forwarder that I use they charge $180 as of current rates right now. It's currently October 4th, 2024. Um, they charge $180 per cubic meter. So it doesn't matter what's in that cubic meter. It could be a cup. If that cup is the only thing that's in that cubic meter, you're being charged $180. Or in the case of our order that we did some months ago, we had 16 boxes and the weight was 308 kgs. And we paid a total, and this is only because we paid a total of 810 or 820 Ugandan shillings to ship from China to Uganda. Now that's only because our cubic centimeters went above 1 cubic centimeter. It was 1.65. So it's like over 1.5 cubic centimeters. And the benefit of that is as you go up in cubic centimeters, the price of shipping goes down. So we shipped 308 kgs of freight all the way to Uganda. So now that's why that's important. Now what happened is that somewhere in here I gave them. I don't see it in here for some reason. Okay, here. Yes, hi. Do you have a freight forwarder? I'm like, yes, I have one. So I gave them. This is the freight forwarder's address. They said that's good, and I told them tomorrow I'll make payment. Now what they do, they create what's called an order. And if you click on that order, right, it takes you to the, because this was already paid for, you don't see it. It takes you to a place where you can use a debit card from your bank to pay for your order. Now, if your bank has a Visa logo on it, if your debit card has a Visa logo on it, even if it's the Ugandan shillings account, you can use it. But be forewarned that the bank offers the crappiest exchange rates of going from Uganda shillings to dollars. So be aware of it. You're going to be paying a little extra more, a little extra. So in order for you to be able to make that order, they have to set the order up for you to pay for on their side. Now, never pay through Western Union. Never pay um, through some unsecured process because you open yourself up to be cheated. Not to say that they will, but still, you got to be careful. Now, once that has been done, once they actually ship, right? Um, well, let me go back. I'm going a little fast. They're going to ask for your shipper's mark. Now, a shipper's mark is here. It tells you uh, your information, right? Your phone number, which, by the way, I'm going to blur out so that you guys are not people calling me on my phone. Um, it has your shipper's mark, the destination. The shipper's mark is basically the name of the person who's going to receive it, the destination, um, an order number. I just randomly created an order number, a telephone number, and if it's fragile. Now, once they do that, right before it goes out for shipping, they take a picture of the merchandise in the box, and they also take a picture of the actual box that's going to be shipped. And you can see uh, that's my shipper's mark on that box. Right. So once that's done, um, once that's done, right, uh, they basically will give you a date as to when it's going to be shipped. Now, one of the things that you can do is that they update the status. And I don't think I can show you here because this one is an order that's complete. Let me see. Let me go in here and completed with reviewed. All right. Let me see if I can find it. Yes, here. You see where it says track package? You're going to see that in the area of the order section. And I'm going to kind of go over that and show you how I got to it. But when you go to track package, right? It actually shows the package when it's being tracked, when it's being shipped from the manufacturer's factory to the freight forwarder's warehouse. So when you hit, let's see, oh, okay, here it is. This shows where the goods were. They were picked up as they were processing, and they finally reached their destination, and who signed for it, right? That's important because um, that will help you to know if your stuff safely arrived, and it's also evidence that your freight forwarder has the goods. Now, how do I get to that section? Oh, I didn't really explain that well, so I want to kind of go over that. So when you log in, let's say you've already paid for your product, right? You can go here. Any one of these will take you to that section. If I click on this, this is going to take me to the messenger section. Now, one of the things that I do is when I pay for something, right? You're going to see like these three little dots right here. You click on it and hit pin to top. So that way you're not sifting through all of these messages that you've talked to other people, but you probably decided you wasn't interested. So when you pin to the top, those are the ones that you pay for. So that way you don't have to be digging around looking for it. And then what you do is you go to orders. In this case, let me show you an order that we have already, that's already in process. So let's say we see where it says delivering. And you see where it says track package. When you look at track package, right? This is recent. This order hasn't arrived to Uganda yet, but it's in transit. You see it's been picked up, and you see that it was signed for, right? So that's how to get it to the warehouse. So in the next video that I'm going to create, it's going to tell you um, how to import it, how to find a customs clearance agent, uh, how to get an idea of what the taxes are of the product even before you order it, so you understand what you're going to pay for. And we're going to go through the whole process of clearing it and getting it out of the bonded warehouse. So I hope this was informative. If you have any questions, right, feel free to leave it in the comment section. And also make sure that you subscribe, right? Make sure that you subscribe and you hit the like button. I'm trying to monetize, so you'll help me out if you do that. All right. Thanks again. And wherever you are, whether you're here in Uganda, US, or anywhere, have a blessed day or evening. Thank you.